Hey guys, welcome to the Cooking Jello show. I am your host Jello, and this, of course, is the Cooking Jello show. So let me just tell y'all something. I had this whole spiel, y'all. Like I had the perfect intro to the show, and your girl was not live. So we already know this show is going to be thebomb.com. Okay, it's Father's Day, and so we are going to be celebrating the men in our lives. We are going to be telling you guys some stories, telling you guys, giving you men some uplifting and encouraging words on today, because today is your day. Although every day we should be uplifting, encouraging, and pouring into our men. But today is nationally recognized as Father's Day. And so today we have a great, great show. We are going to be taking over the grill, ladies, and we are going to be showing the men how we do it, okay? It's going to be really simple. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not going to go all Chef Ramsay on you today, this time. But we're going to have us a great show. I'm really excited for you all to be here with us. I got my grill outside. It's already on fire right now, okay? So what we'll be doing here inside the kitchen is just prepping our meat. We're going to be prepping our vegetables and our fruit, because, yes, we are going to be grilling some pineapple, y'all. And we're going to make us a coconut rum sauce to go with our pineapple. So I can't wait for that. But we're going to be meal prepping in the kitchen. As you guys can see, we got our Graham Girls on the panel with us today. They'll be sharing some of their favorite stories about their fathers, father figures, or just some encounters that they've had with men in general. And again, today is positive. So we're going to be doing all positive talk about our men on today. And yes, I do have on my Juneteenth shirt, although it was yesterday, but happy belated Juneteenth to everybody. I'm happy that we finally got it recognized. You know, we got some other steps, right? But thank you. Okay. You know, we're going to get those other steps. We're going to conquer those other steps. Yeah. But Juneteenth, yesterday, I want to tell you guys real quick. Yesterday, I was outside for a little bit, and it was just beautiful. Okay. When I tell you guys, it was beautiful to see. Hey, Dominique. It was beautiful to see my brothers and my sisters outside together, celebrating the culture, celebrating, our heritage, celebrating just being Black, if you will. Okay. Hey, welcome to the show. So yesterday it was just beautiful to see our Black Lives Matter flags, the red, black, and green flags out just on people's cars. It was just amazing. When I tell you guys my heart, I was just like, look at this. You have Cinco de Mayo, Mexican Independence Day. You got 4th of July. You got Native American Day. You got all these other days. And it was just beautiful to see us celebrating our day. Right. And so I just wanted to throw that out there, and I just had to represent my shirt today on the show. So I'm glad you guys are here with me. Black is beautiful. Yes, it is. So let's take a look, guys. I won't prolong the show because, again, like I said, I got my grill on the fire, or I got my grill already on fire right now. So I don't want that to die out. But let's just take a look at what we're going to be making today, okay? So we are going to be making a grilled flank. It's actually flanking, but you can also find it on some of your packaging. It may say flank cut, but in technical terms, it's flanking cut, which just means that the bone was cut in half. So it's the rib that's just been cut in half to make very thin, and we'll show you guys, but to make very thin ribs, short ribs, if you will. So it's just the way that it's cut. The bone is cut in half. So do you love my shirt? Thank you. I'll have to post later who I got this from. I think I got this from one of my classmates. she made it. I can't remember the name of her business, so I have to post it. I got it last year, actually. So we're going to make grilled flanking short ribs. We're going to make a grilled au gratin potato. I love au gratin potatoes. By the way, hey cousin, love you, miss you dearly. So we're gonna make a grilled au gratin potato. We're gonna make fire roasted vegetable kebabs, and the only reason why I put fire roasted just because it sounds real nice, but it's just gonna be grilled, okay? So then we're gonna make us some grilled pineapple with coconut rum sauce. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for that. Okay, so that's what we're going to be making today. And so what I want us to start on, I want us to start with seasoning our meat. Okay, because we want that to at least get a couple minutes to marinate and let the seasonings kind of get into the crevices. Now, the good thing about flanking, let me grab it. The good thing about flanking cut short ribs is that it doesn't take long to cook. Two, it has great marbling. And when I say marbling, it has a great balance of fat and meat on it. So you're going to get some really good flavor. And when we grill this, it's going to get a nice crispiness. But the meat itself is going to be very juicy and flavorful all the way down to the bone. So that's why I want us to go ahead and get our meat seasoned so we can have that kind of marinating a little bit. Yes, love and miss you too. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the ingredients that we're going to need for our flanking ribs. You're going to need 1 to 2 pounds of flanking cut beef short ribs, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of oil, a half a teaspoon of cumin, half teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, and 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce. And that's going to be that's optional. I didn't put that on there, but that's optional. Some people like to braise, what's that called? Baste. Is that the word? Baste? Yeah, they like to baste their meat a little bit while it's cooking. So some of us, we just like good old barbecue, just straight off the grill, no sauce needed. So that's kind of how I grew up. We just ate the barbecue right off the grill. We had barbecue sauce that was good. My granddaddy used to make some good barbecue sauce. I remember one time, okay, this might be one of those shows, y'all. Okay, so I remember one time we used to have like barbecues in our backyard, and my granddad, and I'm not going to say no names, but another male person that was invited from one of the Graham girls, and they made some barbecue sauce, y'all. And I don't know how old I was, but I just remember my granddad, he had this really old car. Granny, do you remember like what style, make, or model that car was? It was like an old,
it was 1950. 1950. Oh, I know it was a 1950 something. And I begged him not to get rid of that car.
It was a Chevy Deluxe.
There you go. I knew
Chevy Deluxe. Man, that car was so cold, y'all. It didn't run. I don't think it started. Maybe it did start.
It did start.
I think it started. But I would just play in it. I would just get inside and just be in there. Yeah, just because it was like one of those old-fashioned cars. And so I could just remember playing in the car. And we had two, like our garage, the front of our garage you could let up. And the back of our garage, like a normal garage, would let up. And so we had both sides up. And I would ride my bike, kind of up and down the sidewalk and in the back of the garage. And we would have a good time in our barbecues. I think that was like one of two that I can like really, really remember as a child. And the food was amazing. Okay, my granddaddy knew how to handle a grill. Okay, but I said all that to say barbecue sauce is optional. Okay, so here, let me put the other camera on for us.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, let me move. Wait, because y'all can't see something. Hold on, let's see. Is that okay?
Yeah, we see the food up in the corner.
Let me see. I'm gonna move. Okay. And I'm gonna remove the ingredients, okay? Because we already went through that. That's just our seasonings, okay? And so, cousin says, I love the way you present. You don't just cook, you also educate. I try, cousin. I try. I try to know a little bit of something. Okay. So here are our flanking ribs. And so they're already pre-washed, guys. Make sure you range your meat, okay?
Right.
Range it off, okay? So that does not mean use soap and water. Just use a little water and use your hand and just kind of, that kind of thing. So here are flanking ribs. As you can tell, they're very thin cut, which means that it's not going to take us long to cook, but also we're going to save all that flavor and fat. As you can see, and you can see like the white, that's the marble, that's the fat. So you can see you have a nice balance of meat and fat throughout your flanking rib. So that's that. Okay, so you guys remember all the seasonings that we needed? Your brown sugar, your salt, peppers. Oh, I thought somebody was saying something. Okay, so we went over all the ingredients that we needed for to season our meat. So with that being said, because your girl, I shouldn't say I'm being lazy, but let me just say this: I bought this seasoning. Hi, Rachel. Miss you. So I bought this seasoning from this restaurant that's by our house, and they have really good barbecue. Like when I say really good barbecue, they got really good barbecue. And so they sell their seasoning mix, and it actually has everything that we mentioned: the garlic powder, the onion, paprika, brown sugar. What else is in here? The salt, pepper. So it has literally everything that we said before that we needed to marinate. That's everything in here. So guys, I don't want you to think I'm cheating you. I'm not cheating you, but I just took a shortcut. So I'm gonna grab some oil. We're gonna grab us some oil. Oh, okay. So that should be enough.
Just spread it all around.
Whoopsie.
There you go.
Okay. So you guys, make do. Okay. Improvise. I was not looking for that to happen. Okay. So you want to just massage your meat with the oil. I love me some good old flanking beef short ribs. Oh my goodness. Especially you can suck on that bone.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think I'll share with the boys. I'll give them the bones. I don't eat. Oh, Ziggy's. We gotta say happy birthday to Ziggy too. Y'all Neff dog. He'll be in here soon, I'm sure. He's a dad too.
Uh-huh.
And actually his birthday was sometime this week. Whoops. So happy birthday to Ziggy.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
And happy Father's Day, yes.
In doggy terms, however that goes.
Yeah. I think Ziggy is like 15 in human years.
Older than that, because you had
I don't know. I've been out of high school for 15 years.
he's
So
older than that because he was about 7 years.
he was about 5 when we got him.
He might have been older than that.
Oh, well, I don't know. He older than 15 years. So imagine that in dog years, y'all. He old. He up there. Which is probably why, he is kind of stuck in his ways. He kind of ornery a little bit, too. All right, I'm going to rinse my hands real quick, y'all.
Soap and water, people. Wash them vigorously for at least 60 seconds. Sing your alphabets. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. For real. This is in medical terms how they teach you to keep it healthy. Let's get it all off.
Say it one more time.
I always tell them how to clean their hands sufficiently.
Oh, yeah, with some soap and water.
Soap and water, and you say your ABCs. Sing your ABCs.
Oh, I did half of the ABCs. But
I think you got up to H. I'm just teasing.
Right. Right. Okay, don't judge me, y'all, okay? Make sure you say your ABCs and use soap and water, warm water and all that good stuff. All right. Just getting everybody's hellos in there. All right, y'all. Okay, so I'm just gonna sprinkle this. I should have grabbed some gloves.
Not too late.
Yeah. Okay.
Think your sous chef might be heading in there to help you.
I thought I just I called myself being smart one time and put in gloves in there, but thank you. Sous chef isn't feeling the best and she's still helping me out.
Oh,
So
feel better, sous chef.
I appreciate your assistance. Oh, I should probably. All right. Ugh. Okay, y'all. So before I do that, I'm just going. It may look like I'm heavily seasoning it, just a little bit, but I want to be able to also like put enough on there so that I could just coat both sides instead of flipping it and trying to coat it again with messy hands. You don't want
Right.
that. So, oh, it smells good already.
I can imagine.
I don't know. Good old paprika, brown sugar, garlic powder, onion powder. Mm. Okay, so we got our oil, we got our seasoning on here. We're just kind of massaging that into the crevices here. And I'm just laying it back flat. Not that that does anything more, but just so that it's uniform. Okay. Make sure you get that all in the bones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's our flanking season. Bam. And we're gonna put this to the side as we move on to the next preparation. Is that smoke? Okay, hold on, y'all. All right, so because I'm just hungry, I think that runs in our family, though. That we always just got to deal with some food, have some good
Right.
food, talk about some good food. So cousin E is already hungry. Well, I hope you get you a little kibbling bit, cousin, to tie you over during the show. And is that smoked paprika? Let's see. It doesn't say smoked, so I don't know. It might. I don't know. It doesn't say on the bottle, but smoked paprika is good. It gives it a nice smoky flavor. Oh, so let me tell you guys a little bit about my fire that I got going. So on my fire, I have some regular charcoal, and then I also put some hickory chips down in there. So
Mm-hmm.
to get some nice smoky flavor. So you could also do that as well. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna prep our vegetables for our kebabs. So let's take a look at our kebabs. Okay, so you're gonna need about 2 cups of mushrooms whole, and these are baby Bella mushrooms. So I got those.
Mm-hmm.
They actually come with the stem, and I want to show you guys this. They come with the stem in there, but we're actually gonna just pop them right out As you can see, they just pop right out.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're gonna, of course, use our skewer, and I just don't want the stem on there. That's just my preference. But we
Mm-hmm.
have Bella mushrooms. You're going to need 2 cups of zucchini cut in circles. So we have our regular zucchini here that we're gonna chop up in just a second. And then we're going to need so squash. About squash, they didn't have any good looking squash, so I didn't get squash. So your vegetables are your preference, whatever vegetables that you do like. This is actually what I wanted, but the squash did not look good, so I wasn't gonna buy that. Um, then 2 cups of peppers. So guys, they had these baby peppers, the mini peppers. They had these on sale for like 99 cents at Pete's, like the bag. So
Mm-hmm.
I got these because this is gonna be less for us to cut up. Because literally all we're gonna do is just cut this in half and use the half. So if you have the regular peppers, that's fine. But if you want, just for the sake of having to cut a big pepper and cut it in pieces and all that kind of stuff, you might want to get the mini ones. You could just literally slice it in half and use just that as your size. So we're going to be cutting those. And then 2 cups of onion. So my preference for the onion was red onion. So I have a red onion that we'll be cutting up to use that. You can use a white onion or yellow onion. Yellow onion maybe a little more sweeter, give you more like caramelization, if you will. But the red onion I like because I like it. Okay, that's my business. And then you're gonna need about a third cup of balsamic vinegar, a third cup of olive oil, salt, pepper to taste, garlic powder, onion powder, dried basil, and dried parsley. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to grab a knife. Okay, so for our zucchini, we're going to cut the butts off. And we don't want these too thin because if you cut it too thin, remove that. If you cut it too thin, it's going to burn. It's going to be really mushy, and
Cook
I don't
too
know,
fast.
but texture is everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
you want to make this like I would say an inch or even 2 inches, depending on what you like. An inch and a half, maybe. That's kind of like in the middle. So I'm gonna say about this thick. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably like an inch, inch and a half. Because an inch is literally from your first knuckle to the second knuckle. So
Like half an inch, inch and a half.
yeah, inch and a
Half
half.
an inch.
So yeah, but you just don't want it too thin. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you guys, do you want to share a story? One of your favorite stories?
Ooh, I have one. I can remember on those particular Saturdays when it was going to be cleaning day and mommy was going to be cleaning all the bed sheets. And daddy would take the sheets off of their king size bed and pull us all around the house, sliding us around the house in those bed sheets. And we would be having the time of our lives. Probably wore holes in those darn sheets, but if we had the time of our lives with him pulling us and sliding us around the house. Sometimes we'd be hitting the edge of the other walls, but it didn't hurt us because we were having so much fun. And the second one that I can think of off the top of my head is in the wintertime when there would be a real good big snow. He would put us in the car and take us to a big open parking lot and would speed the car up and just turn it and we would spin out in circles. I was excited and terrified at the same time because I would be hoping that we wouldn't hit a light pole, but it was some of the best fun that we had with daddy. Those are two fond memories that I think of often is being pulled around in those bed sheets and the snow circles he would make in the parking lots when we had a really good heavy snow.
Wow. I think by my time we're getting like I ain't doing no more donuts and and I ain't gonna be pulling you across no across the hallway and no sheets either.
Uh-huh.
But that sounds awesome. What about you, Mom?
I can remember the drives to Detroit in the
Yeah.
Cadillac with the
Mm-hmm.
8-track cassettes, listening to Love
Yes.
Alive.
Yes.
And Yvette always had the back seat. She would go to sleep in the back seat. Junior would sleep on the floor, and I would sleep in the back window,
Yep.
literally in the back window of the Cadillac. And I looked so forward to getting in that back window and going to sleep. I would watch the cars as they were driving, and it would just be, I mean, thank God we didn't have seatbelt laws. Otherwise, we would have all been in trouble.
Right.
But I remember those times. Those were precious times
Yep.
listening to Love Alive on the way to Detroit.
Yep.
And then I can remember Daddy and the motorcycle and
Mm-hmm.
how he would take us riding on the motorcycle. He'd take turns taking us riding on the motorcycle. And we love getting on the back of that motorcycle with Daddy. It was just something about being on a motorcycle and hugging Daddy, holding on to him as he's riding us around on that motorcycle. And it's something because, when I hear motorcycles now, I still think of Daddy.
Wow.
Daddy and the motorcycles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remember riding on the motorcycle. Granddaddy would take me as well, riding on his bike that he custom made with, his Harley Davidson. And yeah, that was very fun being on
Mm-hmm.
the back of his bike with him and just cruising down the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was an excellent welder. He used to weld and
Mm-hmm.
make parts that he would add to the motorcycle. And
Custom
then
bike.
when they would go down to the different shows, Daddy won several trophies because of how beautiful that bike was. And I remember when Daddy sold that bike, it just kind of broke our hearts that he sold a motorcycle. But
He put so
he
much
really,
into it.
say again about,
He had put so much into it.
yeah,
Of his own sweat. You know what I mean? And labor. And I think he sold it for less than it was worth because
he did.
Yeah.
it was a highly prized motorcycle.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And I
I
can
have love
remember,
for motorcycles to this day because he would take us riding.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I remember as kids, Daddy used to make those plaster figurines and then he would paint them. And I mean, just so creative. He was just a creative. He was naturally creative, even with his sewing capabilities. I think he made a suit or something for Mom when we were kids. And it would be funny. I remember the time Yvette's button broke on her coat. And Mom called herself sewing that button on Yvette's coat. Look at Mama laughing, thinking about it. And it was lopsided. Like when she
Uh-oh.
tried to button it up, it was lopsided. And Daddy had to fix that button and put it in its proper place. Wasn't that right, Mom?
Yeah. I remember him being he was our Superman. He was invincible to us. There would be times when our brother, he old mouth almighty, would say something to somebody that and they didn't like it, and there would be a whole group of kids would be following us home. They were going to fight, and it was like divine intervention. Daddy would just show up. It's like Daddy would be there, and the kids would back up, and they would take off running. We look around. There's Daddy. It's like you weren't going to mess with his kids. So I can remember that. It just seemed like he showed up at the right time, and then we would buck up like, yeah, do something. Of course, we wouldn't do that when all the kids were around, but
Yeah. And that time that Joe, remember Joe, the bus driver,
the bus driver.
would always pick on Junior for no reason. And Junior would go home and tell Dad, and we would tell Dad we'd be so upset. And finally, Daddy had enough of hearing about that Joe messing with his son.
Oh yes.
And so Daddy drove us up and told us to get on the bus, and we got on the bus. Daddy said, get on the bus. We got on the bus. And so Daddy was sitting, waiting, and watching.
Mm-hmm.
And that Joe got started with Junior. And here comes Daddy getting on that bus. And we knew then we were bouncing like, get him, Daddy. Get him, Daddy. Get him, Daddy. And so Daddy made all the kids get off the bus. That man was terrified. Daddy took the keys off the bus and threw them off the bus. and closed that bus door, and all you could hear was that man screaming, "Oh, oh, oh!" You could hear it. Daddy was wearing that man out until the principal came and, "Mr. Graham, please, Mr. Graham, please open the door. Please open the door." Daddy wasn't opening that bus door until he beat that man until he was satisfied. And from that day forward, that man never bothered Junior. Never did nothing. People knew then, don't mess with Mr. Graham's kids. Because if you mess with Mr. Graham's kids, he gonna come get you.
Yep.
Now I just want to put a disclaimer on in there, okay, y'all. This the thoughts and views and actions that of my late grandfather do not totally all the way reflect that of your host. Okay, now your host does kind of get with that, you know what I mean? But
we're not condoning it.
I'm not condoning it. No, I don't want to condone it.
Keep your memories about your dad close when you think about him. It just makes you smile. It's so true, cousin.
It really does.
It does.
Oh, and I can remember watching the Three Stooges with Daddy. The Three Stooges and the Little Rascals, and that one Little Rascals.
The Yum Yum Eat 'em Up.
Yum Yum Eat 'em Up.
Remember that, moms? I know you.
Yum Yum Eat 'em Up.
And then that one version of the Three Stooges where the man said, "Uh-oh, here we go again, boss."
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, the Three Stooges got me in trouble though with Granddaddy. That time, because the Three Stooges back then they said "mammy" and that kind of stuff, and I think my mom, Granny, they were at another house helping somebody, and I was bored because I think Auntie, you were at the house with us, so it was me, you, and Granddaddy, and all he wanted to do was watch westerns. So all we doing is sitting there watching westerns with him, and I was like, I want my mammy, and Granddaddy was like, "Don't you say mammy?" Like he did not like mammy, but in my mind I was like, "That's what the Three Stooges said."
Right.
The Three Stooges said, "Sammy, it's Sammy from Alabama.
Your little boy,
mammy."
Yeah.
Granddaddy was like, nah.
Yeah, I can remember just as cheeky as the Benny Hill show was, we would all get up in mom and daddy's bed with them and watch Benny Hill. Oh, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
Yes. And that's nothing like. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Right. Right.
That's one thing, like when people ask me about my family, and I always tell them, like, my family, we're very close knit. Like my immediate family, we were very close knit, and I can just remember us all being in the house, all sleeping in the bed together, sitting at the dining room table, having dinner together and talking together, and you really don't see that a lot with family, where your family members really care about what's going on in your life, or even want to even sit and watch TV with you. Now the generation we have, they want to text, they want to TikTok, they want to do all the social media things. But like when I was growing up, I didn't have that. Although like my generation was the generation really to start coming out with like the cell phones, the laptop computers, and different things like that. AOL, came out, growing up. So, we didn't have all of that. All we had was family, going outside. I can remember just my granddaddy being outside with me, watching me ride my bike up and down. Now you see kids outside with no parental guidance. Nobody's watching them. They're just outside by themselves to get kidnapped, shot, and all these other different things. Whereas, when I was growing up, I had someone there who was watching me, who, made sure that I had good fun, but it was safe, that they knew where I was. So, yeah, I definitely miss those days.
Yeah.
Watching TV but those doggone westerns used to get me.
Oh, I remember Friday nights. and
Oh.
Saturday nights where we would watch movies. And back then, the VHS tapes were the things.
Mm-hmm.
And we would be in the front room watching TV, and I would lay down on the floor. We'd all start off sitting on the floor.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
next thing you know, I'd be laying on the floor, and Daddy would say, "If you're sleepy, go to bed." And I say, "I'm not sleepy. I'm not sleepy." Before you knew it, my eyes would be closed, and Daddy would say, "Yvonne, you sleepy. Go to bed." I said, "I'm not sleepy. I'm just resting my eyes."
Yeah.
I think I must have gotten that from Mama, I think. Because I think I've heard Mama say something about resting her eyes, and you know you
My.
sleep.
All right.
Yep. And then when we go out to dinner, and Daddy would always, tell me, "Get your sweater." Because whenever we went out to eat, I would always get cold. "Daddy, I'm cold. Daddy, I'm cold." So whenever we would go out, Daddy would say, "Do you have your sweater? Do you have a jacket? Because don't get to that restaurant and talk about your cold." So I remember we had gone to Baker Square that used to be over on North Avenue. And we're sitting there and everybody's looking at the menu. And Daddy's looking at the menu and he said, "Oh, so what is everybody getting?" So everybody's going around the table saying what they were going to order. And when Daddy got to me, I said, "I'm getting chili." Daddy said, "Now, didn't I tell you to get that sweater? You're always cold." And I started crying. I said, "No, I'm not cold. I mean, I'm getting chili to eat."
That's funny.
Yeah, that was something else.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were driving. I don't know if we were going to school, but it seems like we were on Manheim, and some man said something derogatory to Daddy, and Daddy got out the car and he said, "Say it again," or something like. And the man was rolling up his window, and he said something to Daddy. That window didn't mean nothing to Daddy. Daddy put his fist through that window. We were in the car. "Get him, Daddy! Get him!"
He called Daddy the N word.
I just didn't want to say yes. He called him the N word.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then remember, he was gonna try to spit at Daddy, but forgot his window was up, so he kind of spit and he got back on himself. Dummy.
Yep.
That's pretty
But
good.
Daddy wore him out at the stoplight. We would get him, Daddy, get him. You can't play like that
Mhm.
nowadays. They kill you. At least he
Okay.
just gave him a good knuckle sandwich.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Okay, guys. Sous chef, can I get one more pair of gloves?
Mmm.
Actually, two more. I just need two more pairs of gloves.
That looks delicious.
Okay, guys. So I have cut as we have been talking. I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
Oh wait, I gotta do this onion real quick. Oh, and also I'm doing red onion because well, but remember on that last show we talked about how why onions make us cry and how to not get it to make us cry, which is having a wet paper towel or a cup of water in front of you as you cut, and it does work. But red onions, you don't have to do any of that.
So having why? Because you dip your knife in the water.
No, you don't dip it in the water. You just have it sitting there, and the acid, I think that's what they said. The acid or whatever from the onion gets drawn to the wet paper towel. That's why your eyes cry because the onion, the fumes from the onion, it's attracted to your eyes. So when you have a wet paper towel or a cup of water in front of you, it gets diverted to that cup or to that paper towel. We did it on we did it on Wednesday or last Sunday. Yeah, we tried it and it worked.
Well, now,
Yeah.
because I know I would take my onions, put them in a bowl, and let cool water run as I would cut them, and so that I would. My goodness, now I know.
Yeah, that's what we did. We just had a paper towel just sitting there, and my eyes did not water at all.
Wow, fascinating.
Okay, guys. So what I'm doing with this onion is just like really just cutting it into huge chunks, like quarters or whatever you want to call this. Let me just take that off.
Wow. There's old guy. There's Ziggy behind you, isn't it?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is his kitchen.
You're right.
Okay. I should have had my cup of water next to me because this red onion is pungent. Okay.
I thought all onions would make your eyes water because there have
Red
been times
onions,
I've been cutting the green onions and I'll get some tears popping up.
green onions, I don't. Red onions, I don't either. But this one is kind of pungent. Okay. So you guys, what we're doing is put some olive oil on that. I already put some olive oil down in there. Give me one second. Could I get that? Sorry, y'all. Hold on one second.
That's a pretty picture, actually.
Okay, so I had to just grab a bigger. I'm gonna transfer our vegetables into this aluminum foil because it's deeper and bigger, and that way I can stir it like I want to stir it. So as you can see, we got some olive oil in there. We're gonna go ahead and put a little salt. We're gonna put some pepper. I like to put a little lemon pepper on my vegetables. So just a little bit goes a long way. And we're gonna put some garlic powder. Because y'all already know I can't go with garlic powder. Okay. And we're gonna put a little onion powder. I had to buy a new thing of onion powder because I used it all. And then on top of that, we're gonna get our balsamic vinegar. Okay, and so what? Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to use this balsamic vinaigrette dressing. It's one of my favorites. I'm just gonna put a little. Of course, it looks like a lot, but we got a lot of vegetables in here. Don't worry. Okay, we're gonna give that a nice toss. Break up our onion a little bit. You get it?
It's a slight drizzle outside.
Oh, okay. It's a slight drizzle, y'all, so we might have to move the grill into the inside. Well, hopefully it holds off. Okay, so we give this a nice toss like so, right? So then we're gonna get our skewers. So as you can see here, I have metal skewers. Hold on one second, you guys. I'm gonna move that out the way so you can see. Okay. Rachel says she learned something new. Yep.
Right, about the onion.
About the onion, yeah. Okay, so we use metal skewers. Now the metal skewers, okay, so let me go back. So you may see some people use wooden skewers. That sounds awesome. What about you, Mom? Well, I'm like, what is it? That must be Granny.
Detroit and the Cadillac.
It's something person's playing back from way up earlier.
Yeah, that's okay. Granny, you know, Granny, you'll be somewhere with Granny, and then all of a sudden you start hearing something playing. You be like, "What is that?"
Granny's on Facebook looking at videos.
Right.
looking at her videos.
Guilty as charged.
Okay, so most people, you may see people use wooden skewers. Now with the wooden skewers, if you had those, you will want to make sure you soak them for about 10-20 minutes, I believe it is. You will want to soak them so they don't catch on fire if you put it right on the grill. But the metal ones, you don't have to worry about soaking it. It's retardant against the fire, so you're good for that. Yeah, but it will get hot, so yes, do be careful. So I have a reason as to how I'm putting these vegetables on this skewer. I'm just doing it. So, I mean, if you got a way you want to do it, color coordinated, or you do mushroom, bell pepper, zucchini, onion. Yeah, I'm not even okay. So, however you want to put it on there, you put it on there. Okay. Putting. Again, I don't have a rhyme or reason. I just want to get them on the skewer. Okay, so I'm kind of leaving a little space, just a little space in between, just so that the front and the back of the vegetables kind of get done, get some heat time. So I'm going to set that right there and go on to the next skewer.
Put the lid down on the grill.
Oh,
Fire and burn it out.
probably. Yeah, my fire probably burned out already. That's
Thank
okay.
God for a sous chef.
Right. I can remember. So some stories I have about granddaddy. I can remember when I was growing up. I mean, I'm still growing up, but anyway, um, I can remember like I was having a really tough time with math. Okay, like I was having a really bad, like tough time with math, and granddaddy, especially like with counting change when I was younger. And granddaddy, I remember one day he called me down to the basement, and I think he was washing clothes or something. I don't know. And he would always have coins and change and stuff in his pockets. So he told me if I could count the change and give him the right change back, I could keep the coins. And I remember being down there really struggling. Like I really wanted, because he used to have pockets full of coins and everything in his pocket. So I was really trying to get it. And he was so patient with me. Granddaddy was so patient. He, like some parents, you know, they be like, get it right and get it right now. Like, do it. But he was so patient. He was like, no, that's not it. Do it again. But granddaddy was the one who taught me how to count change, like how to count like what I'm supposed to get back for change and money and all that. He was really good with that. But I just remember him being so patient with me. And I don't know if it's because I was his grandchild.
Of course it was.
Oh, he wasn't that patient with y'all?
Oh, child, please. Between him and Mama. Mama would be trying. He'd go, get on out the way and let me help these kids. He'd be crying. And he'd get on there after a while. He got frustrated. Finally, I think we had a tutor for a little while.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but he was so patient with me. Oh, and then I can remember sometimes,
I said, oh, yes.
And I can remember there would be times like after school or I would be bored or something. And I'd be like, Dad, you want to play Pity Pat? And he taught me how to play Pity Pat. We would sit up and play checkers. We would play Connect Four. Connect Four was our game. Me and Granddaddy used to play Connect Four all the time. But Granddaddy was just so patient with me. And I love the fact that he spent time with me and showed me a lot of things. Growing up as a kid, he was always there.
I just want to talk about how Lucius and Cookie showed up November 2017, sitting there at his place playing Tonk. Go ahead, Dr. Graham. And turn your volume up real good and loud.
Well, I really didn't know how to play the game. It was some kind of card game. What was the name of the card game?
Tonk.
Well, I didn't know how to play, and I watched, and then he's showing me, and I start winning by mistake.
By mistake.
By mistake, full on.
Mistake. I would win by mistake. I didn't know what I was doing, but some kind of way I was counting or whatever, and I'd win by mistake.
You was counting cards? That's illegal.
I was counting something. I was counting whatever the hearts or whatever it is on the cards.
Mm-hmm.
I was counting whatever numbers were on the card. Child, if you brought cards to me now, I wouldn't know how. I just knew how right then, and I
Mm-hmm.
would win. And I was winning so, and then him and Rufus. I think I was playing. I don't know how many, four of us at a time or
Yeah,
five.
because it was it was
Yeah.
you and Daddy, Uncle Rufus, and who was it? Londa?
Percy.
Okay. I know I was then. Was it me and you?
Yeah.
And so,
They was beating us.
Big time.
and I remember that one time when I won so many games. What did I say? I said cookies back.
Yep.
Cookies back.
Back.
And you said, well, before you won, before you put your card down, you would say, I just want to say that Jay, you taught me everything I know. And then you put your card down and said cookies back. That was so funny. We all laughed. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Then I can remember like some summertimes, like going over to the house with the boys, and Granddaddy and
boys.
would be out there playing cards, talking smack to each other. Those were some funny, funny times being back there with them, listening to them argue back and forth. You'd be like, now who's the oldest? Who's the oldest around here? The way they would argue, but I mean, it wasn't like bad arguing. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
they just be talking smack to each other.
Yeah. I like to see how he would respond to Ziggy and Gotti.
Oh yeah, he loves Ziggy and Gotti.
And he'd say to Ziggy, "Come here, man.
Come here, man.
man. That's my main man.
Yeah, you know what? Come here, man.
Come here, man."
Oh my goodness, he would be like, Gotti, I like Gotti. I like Gotti. But Ziggy, that's my main right there. That's my main right there.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have that barbecue grill that Daddy made.
Wow.
You say you still have the barbecue grill he made?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He was very he sure could create with his hands. He was good with his
Yeah.
a good back slap every now and then he'd go to
He was good with hair. Then he do y'all hair?
Yep.
Girl, we be like, oh Lord.
Mm-hmm. School or something.
Yeah.
Baby, I remember that one time.
Oh, don't say it.
What happened?
Don't say it. We had plenty of those where we just be like, "Oh Lord Jesus, just take my whole face."
You're right.
Don't say it. Don't do it.
I ain't saying
Boy, I'll never forget that. But I guess that was my initiation.
I
it.
suppose.
Right.
Okay, y'all, we almost done with these vegetables. I'm just, of course, putting them in here. These smell good.
They look good.
They sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful color.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of these vegetables, I might roast them.
Mm-hmm. Put them in a salad.
Oh yeah, put them in the salad.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely will be good in a salad. Garlic, onion, and balsamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was going back to Juneteenth. Yesterday, went to what they call here the Soul Swap, where it's all African American vendors, and it's like a swap meet. It's like $2 to get in, and it was so, like you said, it was so good, like to see African American people out there, and you'd walk past, and I would just look at people like, "Happy Juneteenth," and everybody would just light up, "Yeah, Happy Juneteenth," just excited. It's funny because some people are downing the fact that Juneteenth has become a national holiday because it's like, this is not what we asked for. Yes, it is. It is one of the things we've asked for, and we have to celebrate the small things, the incremental change. And it's funny because I saw one person who will remain nameless that posted up something on their Instagram account, and like how disgusting it is that the Democrats are taking credit for a national holiday that was brought about by the Republican Party. And I'm like, would you shut up? You're not even from this country.
Oh,
it's like, stop it. Just stop it. President Biden signed it into law. Leave it alone. We celebrate the fact that it happened, but now we are saying to the politicians, we want more. Hey, we've got an Asian hate law. We want a African American hate law. There are other things that we do want to have, but let's celebrate it. So I loved seeing our people, they all different shapes, sizes, shades of brown, some dressed some ways and you kind of look at them sideways, but you're like, Lord, you always got somebody in the family that's going to dress a certain kind of way. But it was so good to see everybody out there celebrating, supporting Black business. You know what I mean? It was just really awesome.
Mm-hmm. And honey, the fireworks were going off here like the 4th of July. I said, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The fireworks and the barbecues. There were so many barbecues I have passed.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so there are vegetables, y'all. And we're going to set that to the side, okay?
Want to put some of that stuff on the grill before it dies?
If you want to do the vegetables, that's fine.
Come back and do your pineapple. Huh?
Yeah, if you want to do your we can. So what we're gonna do? Let me take this off. Give me 1 second. Okay, y'all. So what we're going to do is we are going to take us a quick little break because we're gonna go outside. We'll go outside. Oh wait, no, hold on. I need to. Okay, we'll go outside so we can start putting this on the grill. Then we'll come back in and start our potatoes, and then the last thing we'll do is our pineapple. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick little break here, and then we're going to catch me outside. Okay, we're gonna go outside. We'll be out there. I have it already set up for us. So, all right, let's take a break. Be right back. BRB. As soon as I find the video. Is this the video? Hold on, y'all.
Looks like they may be still setting up.
Yeah. It's got to be exciting to be outside, be
Yeah.
outside with them.
Yeah. Now, is it raining there in Chicago?
Well, right now, they had a drizzle there, but so far here, it's cloudy, but I don't see any drizzle here in my area.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like I don't know if she popped off for a second, or maybe they're getting the camera set up on their end out there in the back.
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look, I was hungry just looking at her setting everything up and seasoning it.
Oh, wasn't it beautiful? The coloring.
Mm-hmm.
Colors. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. So, yeah.
There she is.
There. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yum.
I'm trying to bring y'all a little closer.
Okay. Yes, great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Oh man, y'all, the rain ain't want to stop. Okay, but all right, y'all. So look, we got our vegetables on there. Whew, my ass. Oh, it's gonna start raining. Okay, we got our vegetables and we got our close grill. I'll be right back. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's because it's pouring down now.
Oh, bummer.
So we'll be right back.
Okay.
Can y'all hear?
All right. Yeah, I can hear the.
Oh yeah, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. That rain just literally came out of nowhere. Okay. Um yeah, that the rain, it was like a little drizzle. I was like, okay, it's not gonna come down. Then all of a sudden it was like it wasn't like
Right.
gradual. It just like poured down. Okay. So again, sorry about the cut. We had to cut. Okay. But we back. Okay. So we have some of our flanking ribs on the grill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the good thing about these new cooking things is I also have a grill on the inside. So we can fire up the grill, which I'm going to go ahead and turn on. We'll fire that up. Hold on one second. Oh, it's on. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to fire that up. Put the other pieces of our flanking ribs and our vegetables on there, just so we can have that going on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, between time, we're gonna start on our potatoes. Okay, we're gonna start on our potatoes. Oh, thank you. The Father's Day photos. Yes, those are just some of the men in my life who have been very influential and who have supported me and who have been there for me. That was a picture of my grandfather, my dad, and my bonus dad, Percy. Um, those three men have definitely been a great um, factor in my life. So
Beautiful.
I just wanted to give honor to them via those pictures on the show because we are honoring our men. It's Father's Day today.
That's right.
So let me turn this down. Yeah. All right. So our potatoes. Let's jump back, y'all. Okay, we gotta stay on task. We're an hour and 17 minutes in. We got this. We got two more things to go, and we're done pretty much. So like I said, this is gonna be an easy, quick meal, and but also tasty. So the next thing we're going to work on is our au gratin potatoes. So the ingredients that we're going to need, you're going to need about 4 large potatoes. Now they say that russet potatoes are better to use for your au gratin because it does have a more robust taste to it. So
Okay.
that's what they say. But if you like red potatoes, if you like yellow potatoes, you know, the ones that are good for like your mashed potatoes, then use those. But they suggest for the au gratin potatoes, you use russet potatoes. Um, we're gonna need about 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. So let me tell y'all this story, right? Because your girl was like, I gotta fry bacon just to have some bacon grease. Like, why? Okay, why? But y'all, they sell bacon grease. I'm gonna just tell you
Shut
that.
up.
Yes, they sell bacon grease.
Where?
Okay. I was like, there has to be a lazy girl bacon grease. Like, I don't want to have to fry bacon. And yes, y'all, they actually sell bacon grease. We're not gonna use it today. I didn't buy it because I was like, who knows what type of bacon it is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. But they do sell bacon grease, okay, y'all? So try it at your own risk. We weren't trying it on the show. I bought bacon, so we're gonna fry us up a couple pieces of bacon. So we're gonna fry us up a couple pieces of bacon. We're not gonna use that imitation bacon grease because Lord knows what's in it.
And
But
I'll
they,
eat the bacon and make sure it doesn't go to waste.
Right. Very good,
I'm,
Yvonne. Very
I'm
good.
sure. I'm sure. Then we're gonna need about a cup of heavy cream, a half a cup of milk, 4 garlic cloves minced, 1 tablespoon of garlic pepper seasoning. You're gonna need some sage, rosemary, and a cup of grated cheddar cheese. So I couldn't find grated cheddar cheese, and your girl was not gonna grate some cheddar cheese, so we just bought shredded, and we're gonna make that do. Okay. But if you find grated cheddar cheese, let me know where you got it from because my store didn't have it. So make sure you share that information. But anyway, so that's what we're going to need. The utensils that we're going to need. We're going to need a cast iron skillet. Y'all know we got a couple of them on hand over here. You're going to need your spoon, fork, and knife, cutting board, measuring cups, and spoon. Oh, and you also going to need a pot, a small pot, just a small pot. Okay, or a bowl, because I didn't put a pot. Just get a bowl and you can nuke it. But we're gonna put ours on the stove. So get you a stove, a pot for your stove, just a small one. Okay, so since we're improvising here because it's raining outside and we can't get to our grill, what we're going to do is just do it on our skillet as if it's on the grill because it's kind of the same concept as if we were using the grill. What y'all saying? Hold on. No way. You can buy bacon grease? Yes, bacon grease. You can buy bacon grease.
Bacon.
All right. So we're going to coat the bottom of our pan with bacon grease. So what we're going to do is, um, I don't need. I guess I don't have to show y'all for
Want me
this.
to go ahead and check the meat?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
So what we're
the
gonna
camera, but
Oh, you want? Do you want to? Can you do it with one hand?
If you want me to.
Okay, y'all. Sous Chef is gonna go check the meat. She want to take y'all with her.
well, you can turn me on when I get out there. Turn me off until then.
Yeah. Well, you're not on the thing.
Oh, okay. And then
Okay.
what do? You'll see me when I get out there. Right?
Yeah, give us a thumbs up or something that
Oh, okay.
you want us to be on screen. What is this? Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay. Back on task. Bacon. Okay, so I bought some bacon. Some thick cut hickory smoked bacon. Okay. So I'm going to put this in our cast iron skillet. I will show y'all the cast iron skillet, but Sous Chef got our other camera so she could show you. She's out there with her umbrella like she's a real newscaster. Wait till y'all see her. She's got her umbrella like she's a newscaster out there. She's got her thing and she's just. I'm waiting for her to give me a thumbs up and then we'll bring her on screen. So we're gonna do our bacon grease. Okay, so once we get our bacon in the pan here, she's doing like this and a thumbs up. Okay, so hold on, guys. I'm reporting live. Oh wait,
Yeah.
Can you see it, or do I have it? Ah,
Move your, yeah, we see you. Tell her to move her ingredients so we can see. There we go. Yum.
Wow.
Okay, guys. So sous chef is out there on the grill for me. She's flipping um our beef short. I mean our flanking beef short ribs. They are looking good.
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
I'm
they
just
look really
salivating.
good. Hey, cousin. So yes, sous chef is out there with our grill. This really feels like we're on the news. So tell us, is it still raining outside?
Very light drizzle, not bad at all.
Very
Child, not
light
bad at all.
drizzle.
Yeah, it's a light drizzle. Oh, but look at these.
Okay.
Mm,
Yum.
And
yummy.
our vegetables look good too. Sister
Mm,
Nessa reporting live. JELLO, right?
Yes.
right. Uncut, unedited.
Yeah.
Right. Unedited. Shout out to the crime chaser. We love you, crime chaser. Uncut, unedited.
Right.
If
Live.
y'all okay in the Chicago area, it's a man. His name is Crime
Mark
Chaser Marcus something.
Martin Johnson.
Martin.
Martin Johnson. And he like whenever there's something going on in the city of Chicago or anywhere really, he's always there. And when he comes on like on his live, he's like, "Hey y'all, it's the Crime Chaser. It's me again. Uncut, unedited.
Live.
Live, uncut, unedited." And he just say that throughout the whole live. This is live,
Yep.
uncut, unedited. We're like, we know, we see you, bro. But shout out to him because honestly, that take a brave person to
Hmm.
go where there's a lot of action in the city of Chicago. Okay, you guys. So um I am putting some bacon in the cast iron skillet.
Okay, you can turn me off.
Okay, 1 second. All right, thank you, Sue Chef, for reporting live.
You're welcome.
All right, so I am putting some bacon in the cast iron skillet here. Ooh, okay. I'm putting about four. Well, these it wasn't a lot of bacon, so I might as well just make all of this bacon. They're thick cut.
I'm sure the boys will help you and Yvonne eat it.
Right. I'm sure. Okay, so that's about 6 pieces. It feels good on the grill. Awesome. Okay, so I have about 6 pieces of bacon in the cast iron skillet right now. So we can get our fresh bacon grease. Okay. Um, so while we have that, we're now going to cut our potatoes. And I just want to make sure that I have the camera right so you guys can see. Okay. I'm gonna add it to the screen. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes,
No,
we can hear
all
you.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Now, do you wash your potatoes before you cut them?
Yes,
Yes.
these are
You wash
pre-washed.
them.
Sorry, I just want to let y'all know. Yes, these are pre-washed. I have a whole bowl here of pre-washed potatoes.
We're getting an echo. Sorry, Pumpkin.
Okay, hold on. Suja, do you have your thing on?
What thing?
Your
She'll be right back. Oh, there you go.
There she is.
Okay, can you hear me? Is there an echo?
No, it left. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. I had to mute my phone. Sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we have no, these are pre-washed potatoes. So yes, please wash your fruits and vegetables as we always say on the show. Range them off, okay?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what we're gonna do, so the instructions tell us to do it like diced potatoes. So you could do diced, you could do potato rounds, however you like it. So I'm gonna do probably just like a dice, like a quarter or a dice thing. So I'm gonna grab a knife. Give me 1 second. No. Okay, so we're just going to. I'm just gonna do these probably like an inch and a half thick. I don't want them too thin, but we also don't want them too thick. And you know, if you see like a little eye or something, just cut that out.
If the eye offends you, just pluck it out.
You know
Right.
what? I was waiting for the corny comedian to show up, and she's
All
here.
right. Okay. So as you guys can see, I have them kind of thickly. I kind of have them diced in cubes.
Versus like a little short
Yeah,
round.
versus
Okay.
like the really small dice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so again, you want like 4 large potatoes. Be careful when you're cutting.
Yeah, these aren't fingerling potatoes, right?
No, these are not the fingerling potatoes.
I was being funny because you were talking about your fingers.
I
Got it.
know,
Bad joke.
but then there are things called fingerling potatoes. Aren't there
Yeah.
fingerling potatoes as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Bacon smelling good. That was 2 potatoes so far.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to give our bacon a turn over here. Say it again. No, I turned it off. Okay, guys, our bacon is looking real good, giving us some good old grease.
Good.
Okay, so that was our third potato. Looks like a nice big one. Okay. I like any type of potatoes actually. I like au gratin. I like scallops,
Mm-hmm.
mashed potato, baked potato, twice baked potato, fried potato. Oh yeah, fried potatoes like breakfast fried potatoes, smothered potatoes. I like smothered potatoes. I'm not a huge hash brown fan though. Hmm.
You're not a what fan?
A huge hash brown fan.
Oh, uh-huh.
But anyway, here are four potatoes. Okay. So let's see what our next step was. Okay, so our next step, all right, we diced it. All right, and then we're going to cook these. We're gonna fill these with our potatoes, and then in our bowl. Oh yeah, so you don't need the pot. So in a bowl, we're gonna grab our bowl and put in our cream, the milk, garlic cloves, the minced garlic, garlic pepper, and sage and rosemary. And then once we have that mixed together, we're going to pour that mixture over our potatoes, being sure to cover the whole pan. So you want to cover our potatoes. And then we're going to cover it with a piece of foil and we're going to bake, if you will, on the stove for about 30 minutes. After that, within the 30 minutes, we're going to stir that occasionally. And then we're going to uncover it and cook for another like 20 minutes. So this is going to be on the stove for a minute. So let's check on our bacon. I think our bacon is pretty much done.
So good. All right, you want me to go out and get the noodles ready to come off the grill?
Yeah. It only needed like 10 minutes. So for your meat, let's talk about that while I let that bacon finish a little bit longer. So with your flanken cut short ribs, remember because they are thin that hold on one second, so remember that because they are thin, they don't need long to cook. So on the recipe here, so it tells you that it's only about 5 to 7 minutes per side on the grill. If you're gonna put this in the oven, you would just slow cook this at 325, covered for about 2 to 3 hours. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
sous chef is going out there to take it off the grill because it's been about that time for um for our for our flanking to come off, and probably our vegetables too. Does not have to come off. Okay, so I'm just removing this bacon from out of the skillet. I don't know if y'all want to see this bacon. There's our bacon.
Mm.
So we have that out the way. I just turned the fire down to like medium low. So we're going to go ahead and put our potatoes here. Let me move the camera over for you guys. Hold on one second. Okay, so there's our bacon grease, as you all can see. Okay, so we're gonna put our potatoes in there. Woo. Okay, and so our instructions again for our potatoes. All right, so we're gonna put that in there. All right, so in our bowl, we're gonna whisk together the milk and the seasonings. So let's go back. So we needed a 1 cup of heavy cream, a half a cup of milk, and I just saw our thing said 2 tablespoons. City. Oh, okay.
So looks like it's done raining too.
Oh, it's done right now. You want to put the other ones on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Look at our flanking.
Mmm. Yum.
Hold on, I'm trying to get the right
That looks delicious.
flanking short ribs. So let me put them in here. Okay. Ooh, I burned myself, y'all.
You did?
With the grease.
Be careful.
Okay. So we're going to need 1 cup of heavy cream. You want this on the grill? Yeah, you can put that on there. You want to put the rest of those vegetables? I don't know if that's.
I didn't take the other ones off
okay.
yet.
So we're gonna do 1 cup of heavy cream. Oh, I probably should have put this in a regular bowl. That's okay. And then a half a cup of milk. Let me get a regular bowl. 1 second. Guess we're gonna be washing dishes today. Me. I'm gonna use about I don't know how many dishes. Okay. So, and then we're gonna do a half a cup of milk. There's our half. We're gonna need some garlic cloves. So I'm putting garlic cloves in here. Y'all know I'm not really measuring garlic, but that looked like enough. And okay, so we're gonna need pepper, garlic pepper. So I put just pepper and sage and rosemary. So for the recipe, I think it actually calls for the dried, but I didn't have dried, so I'm gonna use just this fresh. I'm just gonna break it up. So this is sage. I love the smell of sage. I think I do got some dry sage. And basil. Rosemary. I think I do. But I want to put some fresh in there too. Nothing like fresh herbs in your food. So I'm just kind of ripping it fine. As fine as possible. And then I also have some rosemary. I'm going to put in there. Ooh, that sage smells good. rosemary. Okay. So we have some rosemary and our sage in here. I'm going to give this a nice little, give this a nice stir. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt, although we don't need much because we have that bacon grease. Okay, so then it tells us we're going to pour that over our potatoes, and we're going to make sure that it's completely covered. So I'm going to remove that. Okay, so give that a nice stir. No, I'm gonna just put it up there. Okay, as you guys can see, our potatoes are fully covered. So one more. All right, so once we have our, we have that over there. Now we're going to cover it with foil. And we should have this on like medium. So make sure you have your, because we're using the stove, we're going to have that on medium. We're going to cover this and bake for 30 minutes. And we're going to stir occasionally just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom or get too brown. So yeah, for 30 minutes, I'll set the timer. So we're going to just cover it like so. All right, so our potatoes are covered, as you can see, and we're going to let that cook for 30 minutes. So let me set the timer so I don't forget. Okay, so we have that set for, I think I got this set. Oh wait, hold on. Let me use this. Where's sous chef when you need a cook time? Okay, enter time in minutes. Okay. Oh. Okay, y'all. I don't know how to set the timer on that thing, so we're gonna let sous chef do it because I have no idea. But anyway, so let's move on. So now that we have our potatoes going, I'm just putting this cream away because I don't want that to spoil. So put your cream, put your milk, anything else that would need to go back into the refrigerator. We want to make sure that that's back in the freezer. Okay, so we have our flanking short ribs. Those are pretty much done. Sous chef just went back out there because it stopped raining to put the remaining pieces on the grill for us. She did bring in some vegetable kebabs. Those look so good. And we got our potatoes on the stove right now, 30 minutes. I know I put it on, it was like 5:46 after I put the cream in there. So y'all help me because I
Okay.
do not know how to set the timer on the microwave and the stove. I don't know if I.
Does it say timer?
Girl, yes, it's a cook time, and
So,
then
so the way mine works is you click timer.
wait, I don't. Oh, kitchen timer.
Yeah. See how
Kitchen
that works.
timer.
See how that works.
Enter time in minutes. Okay, 30.
And then I would hit the timer again
Enter.
and it would start it.
Okay, wait, that was 30 seconds. Okay, stop. Kitchen timer.
30.00.
Uh, Bam. Y'all so smart.
It
Okay.
takes a village.
Because I was so over here struggling. What'd you say, Granny?
27 minutes. You're going to cook it 27 minutes now because it's
Oh.
already cooked 3 minutes.
There you go.
Okay, bam. 27 minutes. We got it.
There you go.
Thank you. Woo.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we got that. What's our next thing, y'all? Okay, so our next thing, our last thing really is our pineapple. So let's move this out the way because I really don't need the cutting board because I don't need the cutting board because your girl bought pre-sliced pineapples. Okay, so we have pre-sliced pineapple because I was not ready to like cut a whole pineapple. And it's Father's Day, you know, some men they impatient. So we have to treat this like an instant Jello show. Okay. We gotta buy the stuff kind of already prepped and we just gotta prep it a little bit more. So that's why I bought the sliced pineapple. But anyway, let's take a look at the ingredients that we need for our pineapple. That's not it. Okay, so we're going to need 1 large pineapple, which I actually have 2 of these, which I would presume would equal 1 full pineapple. So this is like half a pineapple, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to need 1 large pineapple, a half a cup of coconut milk, which we have right here, some of the Goya coconut milk.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna only need a half a cup of that, and then we only need 1 tablespoon of cream of coconut. So I got the cream of coconut. We got that. Oh, and then we're gonna need 2 tablespoons of coconut rum.
Why the cheeky look?
Cause I got coconut rum this time. I was not gonna use the imitation. I don't know. The recipe was like you can either omit it or use the real thing. So it's gonna be cooked. It's gonna be cooked. Okay. All right.
So Granny over there home staggering.
It's only 2 tablespoons. I mean, woo. If 2 tablespoons get you going, Granny. Ooh, some powerful stuff. Okay, so we only need 2 tablespoons of coconut rum. So you can use any coconut rum you like. I mean, the only coconut rum I know about is Malibu. So we got that. Then we're going to need 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch and 1 tablespoon of butter.
It won't be like that rum cake we used to eat on the holidays. Let your granny know.
Right. That rum cake we see on the holidays, that rum cake, you be drunk
I
for
think
real.
somebody put the whole bottle in that rum cake.
Yeah, I don't think they let it cook long enough to cook the alcohol out. But anyway.
I never did like the taste of rum. Like the rum candy. No, I never could.
I like rum cake.
Rum cake is pretty good.
Rum is okay too. But
Mom tried it a couple times. I was like,
so what we're gonna need is the bacon is in the microwave.
Sue Shelf has earned
That's
her
bacon. Yes, that's true. She has.
That's right. Thank
Definitely.
you, Ed.
You're welcome.
While you over there, keep stirring potatoes.
Yes.
This is the thing I use for the potatoes.
Okay.
But I should have put it in there. That's what okay, guys. So you're gonna need skewers. So the only reason why I say skewers is because if I had bought the full pineapple, I would have shown you how to cut it, and we would have cut it in long strips, like in which you would need the skewer to put on the grill. But instead, I got them sliced like this. Slice.
Yeah.
I got it sliced like that, so you really don't need the skewer unless you just want to. I mean, it'll make it easy for you to pick up, and eat or whatever if you use the skewer, but you don't have to if you have it cut like this. If you have it cut in just like the strips, then you might want to go ahead and use that skewer to make it more secure and safe, especially if we're putting it on the grill. You want to be able to put it on and off the grill safely. You're going to need a cutting board. We don't need a cutting board today, but if we had that full pineapple, you was going to need a cutting board. You're going to need a spoon, fork, and knife. We do need that. You're going to need your measuring cups and spoons, and you're also going to need, okay, so I got this all mixed up. So you need the pot for this one and the bowl for the other one. But regardless, you're going to need a pot for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice our pineapple and place it on the skewer. Again, if you are using the wooden skewers, you want to soak those. It says for 30 minutes prior to using it to prevent it from burning on the grill. However, for this improvised show, we already have ours cut, so we don't have to spend the time on cutting it. And we don't need the skewers because these are cut in the wedge as opposed to the strip. So we're going to prepare the coconut rum sauce. So,
I did give the boys half their bacon.
Oh, she shared her bacon with the boys. Okay. So, my phone got hot over there, so I have to wait for it to cool down.
Mm-hmm.
So, in our pot, we're going to add our coconut milk, our cream of coconut, and the coconut rum into a small saucepan, and we're going to stir to combine, and then stir in the cornstarch. We're going to heat this over low-medium heat while continuously stirring until the sauce is thickened. So let's remind ourselves, i.e. me, how much we need it. Okay. So we need it. Can you have this? I just list that out because that's just so we're gonna need a half a cup of coconut milk. And make sure, guys, with your cans, you rinse your cans as well.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just wiping out our measuring bowl. Our measuring cup. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so coconut milk, we're gonna need a half a cup. Did you start with potatoes?
I did.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I just want to know if Yvonne took a sneak taste of the short ribs.
No, I didn't.
I'm putting on ideas.
Right. I was wondering how it tastes. You could share with me since I'm all the way over here on the left coast wondering.
They do smell amazing, though.
I know it does.
They do smell. What'd you say?
Keep the foil on it.
Yeah. For after the timer goes off, then we can take the foil off.
Okay.
But for the time being, maybe we could turn it down a little bit. So right now we're noticing just that our potatoes are sticking just a little bit. So if your potatoes are sticking, go ahead and stir and maybe turn it down just a little bit. Turn your fire down. Okay, so the coconut milk, it kind of had like some chunky pieces. Not that it was bad, but just because it's settled. So I'm just taking something to stir it just to get it all together. So again, a half a cup of coconut milk.
Ooh, is that rosemary?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay, so we have our half a cup of coconut milk. We're going to do a tablespoon of cream of coconut. And you want to make sure it actually says cream of coconut. Because I think there's different types though. Because when I was looking in the store, it was like a whole bunch of different
Coconut
types.
water, coconut.
Yeah, coconut water, coconut milk, and then it was like um coconut. What's the thing? Coconut. It's another thing. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was another type of coconut something.
Mm-hmm.
Coconut milk, coconut water, cream of coconut.
Yeah, but it was one more thing. I can't. I can't think of it. Okay, and then we're gonna need 1 tablespoon of cream of coconut. So half a tablespoon. So this two of these.
Don't miss me too much while I'm gone.
What'd you say?
Don't miss me too much while I'm gone.
Okay, so I just put a little bit more than 2 tablespoons. I'm sorry, 1 tablespoon of cream of coconut. I did like 1 tablespoon and like a sliver. Okay, 2 tablespoons of coconut rum. I won't take none for stomach's sake. I just gonna pour it into the thing.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Okay, 2 tablespoons. Okay, that's one, two, 2 tablespoons of
A
coconut.
little bit for extra sake.
Huh?
I said a little extra. You're right.
No, I won't do it. Granny's gonna have some. I won't do it. Okay, so we're going to put this in our pot. It smells good.
I know it does.
So I got this particular recipe, like this coconut thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually off of Pinterest.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for like healthy snack ideas.
Uh-huh.
Um, and this happened to be one of them. One of the good snack ideas I found. Okay, so I have this on medium. I'm waiting for my our phone came back up, so it's no longer hot. So let's get you back.
Don't forget your cornstarch and butter in case that's
Yeah, so the cornstarch, we're going to heat this first. Hold on 1 second.
okay. I just knew you stepped away, so I didn't know if you.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we are going to. I'm trying to set. Oh, y'all can see me moving the camera already. All right, 1 moment. Let's remove that. Oh, those potatoes smell good.
I know they do.
All right. So that's our here's our pan with our coconut cream of coconut. So that is getting nice and combined. I want to plug this back up because I don't want y'all to get disconnected. Okay, so then for the cornstarch, we needed 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch. So let's get what do I do with the measuring things, y'all? 1.5 teaspoons. Use this one of cornstarch. If I were cornstarch, where would I be? Oh yeah. Okay. So we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch to this now. Okay, so we got our 1.5 teaspoons of cornstarch, and then the butter we're gonna add at the end. So once we have everything incorporated and combined, we're gonna take it off the heat, and then we're gonna add our 1 tablespoon of butter and let the butter just melt because we don't want to cook the butter. We just want it to melt in there and give us that good rich flavor.
Okay.
So I'm giving this a nice stir because I got a clump of coconut that's sitting right there. So I want to get this nice and blended. Granny, do you have any stories you want to share about your father?
Well, I was thinking about when I was the only child, and my father would love to go to the ball games. And I don't remember now if it was Wrigley Field or White Sox Park where it was, but he would take me with him.
Can you turn up your volume a little bit, Moms? Is your volume up all the way up on your iPad? All the way up.
Can you hear me better?
A little
Can you hear
bit.
me better? Oh,
It
oh my
seems like
God.
it's muffled. Is something underneath the microphone on your iPad? Or
How's this? Is it
talk
still
now.
up?
No.
No, that made it worse.
Yeah.
Made it
And your
worse.
volume is all the way up, right? And is the volume all the way up on, let's see, your cam mic.
Cam, let's see. Hold on.
Um, hmm. Yeah, your volume is just kind of low.
Let's see. Is
That's
that
better.
better?
Yep, whatever you did, that's better.
Okay.
It's still
Let's,
low, but it's better.
okay. I'll talk real loud.
Yeah, it's strange that it's low like that. There's something, look, on your screen. Pardon us for the technical difficulties. Let us try to check this out, troubleshoot it. At the bottom where you see on StreamYard, it says mute, stop cam mic. Do you see that?
No. I see Mike and Cam Mike, chat.
Cam mic. Okay, click on cam mic.
Okay. Okay.
Now go down to where it says audio.
Okay.
Click, okay, let's see here. It should be saying default. What is your mic default? What is it saying there?
It says iPad microphone.
Okay, iPad microphone. And then what is the default speaker?
I don't see a default speaker. It just says echo cancellation, automatically adjust mic volume.
Do you see
Okay.
a thing underneath that where you can adjust the volume?
Nope.
And is the automatic adjust mic volume checked?
Yes.
Okay, uncheck it just for a second and you can talk. Are you talking?
Wait a minute.
If you are, then
How's
check it
that?
back.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a little bit better.
Okay.
Let's
How's
just
this?
let's just go with that. Some
Okay.
some kind of way it's the volume is just low, and I'm trying to figure out if it's on the application itself or if it's your iPad and you need to turn up the volume on your iPad.
I don't know, but if this is better,
Oh, that's better.
okay, let me hit the X there. And this is still better?
Yep.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
look, I unchecked the box.
Okay. And then just double check that your volume is all the way up on the side of your iPad. Push the up button.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Carry on with the story now. Socks.
Okay. So my dad would always take me with him to the ball games.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the last time he took me. And he had taken me many, many times. But I guess he had gotten fed up. He said, every time I bring you, you don't watch the game. The first thing you do is you say, I want a hot dog.
But he wants to. Well, he said you in his pockets. You want a hot dog. You ain't
Yeah,
even watching the game.
honey, hot dog might have cost more than getting in to see the game.
Yep.
Exactly.
But I would always want a hot dog, and he'd always give me the hot dog. And that was the last time he took me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, when you go to the baseball games, you want, for me, it was a hot dog and ice cream cone. They
Hmm.
have the best ice cream there.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But my one thing about my dad, he was always there.
Mm-hmm.
He was always there. He was always in the home.
Mm-hmm.
He'd go to work and then he'd come home. If he had work doing the yard or on his car, whatever, he was always at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would listen to the ball game on the radio or whatever, but he was always there. I have no recollection of my dad never being at home with us.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can remember us going over to Granddaddy's house. And whenever we walked in, he was sitting in his posted in his chair with his little pocket notebook, that little pocket radio, and his pencil. And he was listening to the baseball game and writing notes, I guess, keeping notes or track of something. But we would speak to him, it was like hi, and then he was right back at his baseball game. I remember that very vividly.
Hmm.
Oh, now what I remember vividly is how when he be in that baseball game on TV and we walk in and we say, "Hi, Granddaddy," we be running through, "Hi, Granddaddy." One time we came in, I don't think she did. I have to tell the story yet. So one
No,
time we
no.
came in, we all said, "Hi, Granddaddy," and we kept on running. Yvette said, "Hi, Granddaddy." He didn't respond. Yvette went back. She said, "Hi, Granddaddy." He wouldn't respond. He leaned over like you in my way. So she leaned back in his way. "Hi, Granddaddy." He leaned the other way. She leaned back the way. "Hi, Granddaddy." And she finally kept doing that until finally he said, "Hi, girl, now move." You remember that, Yvette?
Uh-huh. After you said it, after you started talking about it, yep.
That was hilarious. But I tell you one thing. If he didn't speak to us, no big deal.
Uh-huh.
But when Jello came along, he didn't see anybody but Jello. Me and Mom would go by. Granddaddy seat, Jello in that seat, honey. He'd come on, he'd get that car seat, he'd take Jello. He wouldn't even speak to me and Mama. He'd take Jello. He'd just be talking to Jello and walking with Jello. Take her on up there, and he'd be sitting there in the house talking to Jello in that car seat. And we like, I guess we just
top level, right?
It was something about Jello.
Yeah,
It was her great granddaddy's baby.
Yeah. He called. He wanted to know what the baby doing now. What the baby doing now? He was really interested in his great grandchildren.
Yeah. He probably didn't know that he would ever live to see a great.
Yeah. And even when I take both of them, Jane would be in his car seat.
Yeah.
Angelica would be in her car seat, and he'd come and get them both. He loved those kids.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And I loved him too.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't get to, have a relationship with him while he was yet verbal and, in his good health at the time. But the moments that I did share with him, just talking to him and helping Mother with like giving him his medicine and helping him, he would just look at me and I would just look at him, and he could speak with his eyes, yes or no, and I could just remember just saying, I love you, and just holding his hand and looking at him, and he would just be blinking. He would just be blinking. He just watched me. I can remember him just watching me, and so those moments I do cherish, being able to help Mother with him and just to have that bond that we shared. It's like unexplainable, the bond that we did have. And it could be, of course, my spirit probably knew from the times that he was talking to me when I couldn't understand words, but the things that he deposited into me or spoke over me or into my life, when he was nonverbal, I was able to show him the fruit of what he was speaking. And so that meant a lot to me to even have that type of relationship with him during those times of his life. But yeah, I love, and so some of you, I don't think I posted a picture on my. I don't think I posted a picture on my Facebook of great granddaddy. I don't know, but to give some of you an idea of what my great granddaddy looked like, he looks like the Colts coach, the Indiana Colts coach. If you guys, I forgot his name, but if you guys Google the Indiana, I forgot his name.
Is it Dungy or something like that?
Coach Dungy.
Yeah, something like that. But it's the Indiana Colts. Old coach. He just retired not too long ago. Okay, so that's to turn our potatoes. I turned them off already. The last two pieces off of there, and then I'm gonna turn this grill on. But yeah, he looks just like the Indiana Colts old coach, light skin.
Tony Dungy. I know it was Tony.
Tony Dungy. Yeah.
Dungy. Dungy.
Every time I would watch, I don't know, I would just root for Indiana because I'm like, he looked like my great granddaddy. And they were actually a pretty good team, the Indiana Colts. They weren't that bad.
Yeah.
So right now, our timer went off for our potatoes. So while Granny was talking, I looked at the potatoes. They were done. Okay. So all I did was just put some cheddar cheese on top and covered it back with the foil and turned the heat off. So I turned the heat off, put a little cheddar cheese on top, and covered it back with the foil. So our potatoes are finished. Our flanking ribs, those are finished. Our beef short ribs, our vegetables finished. Our sauce for our pineapple is finished. So the last thing we're gonna do is grill up our pineapple. So in looking at different ways to do the pineapple, there have been some recipes where they kind of put some brown sugar on the pineapple and then grill it or what have you. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to add too much sugar to it because pineapple is already sweet. And then I saw that when you grill fruit, it actually makes it sweeter. It brings out the sweetness more of the of the fruit. Yes, Aunt Rachel, Coach Tony. Am I muted?
No, we hear you.
Okay, I'm like, what's that saying muted? Um, but yeah. So we're not gonna add anything to our fruit. However, there are some recipes that you may find. They'll tell you to sprinkle it with some brown sugar before you put it on the grill. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna just get our natural sugar from the actual pineapple. So I'm gonna turn our grill on. Well, before I turn it on, I'm actually gonna spray it. So make sure if you do have a griddle that you spray it so it doesn't stick. Okay. And then I'm gonna bring the other camera over just so you guys can see this part. So to make sure. Okay. All right, so you guys can see our griddle. So I'm putting our griddle on like medium high. For right now. So here's our sauce. You guys can see it. So that's our sauce. It's nice and thick. You can see that. But it's nice and thick, like a glaze, if you will. I'm gonna set that back over there. And so we have our pineapple. I sprayed the grate down with some non-stick spray because who wants our pineapple sticking to the grate? So I'm gonna wait for that to. Okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, sous chef just brought in the last of our beef short ribs. Y'all wait till y'all see that. Oh my goodness. So good. Okay, so I'm just waiting for that to heat up.
I want to say I remember my grandfathers, my maternal and paternal grandfathers.
Wow.
I remember them. Yes.
Wow.
That's a blessing.
A
Yes.
real blessing.
hmm
Any experiences with them that you can recall?
Well, my maternal grandfather, I remember he would hold me all the time. I was little.
Mm-hmm.
After I was a few weeks old, my parents brought me from Chicago back to Tennessee. And
Mm-hmm.
we lived there until I was like close to 4 years old before we came back to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I remember them well.
Mm-hmm.
And my father's paternal father, I remember him. He wouldn't let my parents, you know, if they wanted to spank or whatever. Oh no, they better not do anything or say anything harsh to me around him. So I remember them very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Remember them well.
Mm-hmm. That's so sweet.
Yeah, yeah. I remember one time I got really, really sick, and my mother's father, walked miles from Gallatin, from where they lived. Oh Lord, um, can't think of the town where they lived, but it was in the country, and the house was on the hill. And I know my cousin Ernestine would know uh, exactly where they lived. He knows the name of the town better than me. But he
Mm-hmm.
walked all the way to Gallatin during the night, and they didn't have street lights. To remind you, that was back in the 1940s.
Right.
So they
Wow.
didn't have street lights, and he walked in the dark to go and get the doctor. I was just
Wow.
that ill. I was very ill.
Wow.
So
What a real blessing.
yeah, our fathers, they made sacrifices for us. That was
Yeah.
a real sacrifice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But back then, he could have been caught and lynched and killed and everything else with the, slavery and racism and all that going on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm. Then wild animals, you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Not the people wild animals, but the real wild animals.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
It's a real blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's what Sister Annette was just saying. It's a blessing that have memories
Of both,
of
yeah.
both of
Yeah.
your grandparents, great grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
Because Yvonne and I knew granddaddy and our great grandmother. And
Yes.
I vaguely remember daddy's stepmother.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember her. In the back of my mind, I remember her.
Yeah. You all should
I
remember
remember
her
her not wanting to give us any of those bananas.
yeah.
Uh-huh. I'm not stepmother, his mother.
No,
Oh,
Wait.
that's your dad's mother. Your
Oh, maybe I
dad's
got to mix it.
mother.
She passed when I was born, right?
No. She passed when he was about a year and a half old. She passed in
I'm thinking of
December.
stepmother then.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should have step. Yeah, you should remember her very well, the
Yeah,
stepmother.
I do remember her then. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
now I
Yeah.
remember going down
Because she had the
there
snuff,
to
didn't she?
see
The little buckets
Daddy's
and stuff.
stepmother,
That's it.
and
Stepmother.
we didn't have the utensils. Daddy went to KFC and told them to give us utensils and all, and the people forgot to give us the
You in
utensils.
the
We got
hotel.
all the way back, and we didn't have it. Daddy, confounded! I told those people to put some plasticware in here. And I remember Daddy making do. He took the
Mm-hmm.
lid off the mashed potatoes and off the coleslaw, and
Yep.
we used those as spoons.
Cut them in half.
Yep, cut them in half, and we used them as spoons, and we
Mm-hmm.
improvised. That was just the best thing for us. That was like fun. We were like, oh, yay,
I remember that.
we
And
didn't
we had
know.
rag bologna
Right.
and the saltine crackers. I remember that. We were in the
Hmm.
hotel.
Yep.
Yep.
I could almost remember our little yellow and white polka dot outfits. Daddy dressed us alike every day.
Uh-huh.
And it's like I remember those little polka dot outfits, the little shorts. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember a little green and white polka dot outfit. I can remember going to Mama's job, and we had on
Mickey
our
Mouse and
little
Donald Duck.
like sailor dresses. Was it you that had the Donald Duck, or did I have the
I think
Donald
you
Duck
had
first?
Donald Duck and I had Mickey Mouse. Purple.
Mickey Mouse. And we had our little purses, and Mama always made sure we had our little rollerball things to
Oh,
hang
honey,
on.
that's the little rollerball.
We had our little mints in our purse and our little handkerchief, to make sure in case you had a little, tear or something you had to clean up. So we always had our little purses, and we were dressed up. And I remember going over by the pond to
The
take
duck.
pictures, and we were afraid because there was some ducks over there. We thought the ducks were going to chase us away.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that, Mom?
Taking pictures there at the regional office.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I always thought that place was so regal
Yeah.
and high class.
It was. It
Mm-hmm.
was. It makes a difference when you work in a place that is posh
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
because you treat people differently because you're more high class in a more high class environment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can remember as children, I can't remember if it was mom or dad that would get us ready in the mornings. And we would meet up with the other parent as one was getting off work, one was getting ready to go to work. But we'd meet up at the little forest preserve.
Forest
And
preserve. Yep.
I think it was mom would kind of continue on to work, and then daddy would take us on to school.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was always, we always had one of our parents was always there with us. Mom made sure, we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We'd have some good old hot cooked homemade food.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember mom and dad having the garden in the backyard, growing tomatoes and strawberries. Oh,
Strawberries.
talking about the best strawberries ever.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that. And I remember how daddy would stop on the side of the road when we go down south. And he would get those watermelons off the truck. And daddy knew how to pick a good sweet watermelon. Ooh, those would be the best watermelon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, granddaddy had it for I can remember sitting at the kitchen table and granddaddy he'd come home with some honeydew melon,
Yeah.
a coconut, and
Make them cantaloupe.
else he had come home with. We sat at the kitchen table and he pulled out his pocket knife
Mm-hmm.
and he would cut a piece of honeydew melon. He eat a piece and then he cut and then pass me a piece. And I could just remember I would tell people all the time, like my taste for food, comes really from my grandfather and my auntie. But I could just remember like my granddad whenever he sat down at the table and had some food or whatever, I was right there next to him. And so whatever he ate, I ate. And so he really like opened up my palate to different foods.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people that don't get to experience that. But he would come home with different type of always come home with different things and want to try it. And I can remember just sitting at the table with him and just knowing that whatever he was gonna give me was gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
And I never like questioned. I never looked at whatever he gave me as like, ew, what's that? No, I was like, if my granddaddy ate it's good. It's gotta be good. So I'm gonna eat it. And I miss that a lot. Just being able to sit there, and share a meal with him, eat with him, and hear him talk about them stories. I used to love him talking about the cat.
Yes. And the
The
dumb
cat.
dog with the can.
The cat. Oh my goodness. And then him singing, I love the Lord and he heard my cry. He was great and it was so funny. He was so funny. He always had the stories. He always had the stories that'll make you just be like, what?
Mhm.
But the best part of that story with the cat would be the Jello,
And he
Jello, and he shot right out of there. And he
Yeah.
yeah, he was so dramatic.
Yeah.
animated.
Animated. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was animated. Like
Yeah.
when he told the story, you really got a visual.
Visual.
Of,
Uh-huh.
yeah, of what really happening.
Almost like you were there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time Daddy gave Jello a piece of lemon. He was curious to see how she was going to respond. Was she going to pucker up or what was she going to do? She ate the lemon and put her hand out for more. And Daddy said, this child, she'll eat just about anything I give her.
She trusted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Now I wouldn't eat okra.
That Hawaiian salad.
Yes.
Oh, yes. He can make
I
that.
haven't had Hawaiian salad that tastes like the way Granddaddy made it. I've had some good Hawaiian salad, but it has like an aftertaste, and it's like it's missing something. But the way Granddaddy used to make his Hawaiian salad, baby,
And
And
oxtail
the carrot
stew.
coleslaw.
Yeah, that coleslaw. Carrot slaw.
and that succotash, was that Granddaddy that made the succotash? Or that was you, Granny? Granddaddy
used to
made
make it.
yeah, he used to make that succotash. I used to love that succotash.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I ever had his succotash.
I think you did.
I don't think I did. I don't think I
Probably
did.
just don't
I don't
remember.
know. I don't ever remember him making succotash when we were kids.
Oh, he did.
Did it?
He did.
Huh.
Because I never made it. I never made it.
Okay.
He made it for you all. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What? Look, tell me what succotash is. Maybe I remember. What's all in it?
He would just put a whole bunch of everything in the pot.
Ground beef,
Ground
corn,
beef, corn,
peas.
yeah, beans,
Mm-hmm.
all type of stuff. He would put in that pot, and it was just the way he would season it. I don't know. It would
Yeah.
just be so good.
Okay,
Now I
I don't
remember
remember it. But I do remember this one time. We all decided we gonna throw Mama a surprise birthday party.
it was their anniversary.
One of them was no, it was
It
a
was their
birthday.
anniversary.
We did two birthday parties because we did one for Daddy and one for Mom. Whatever it was, we were throwing a party, and we called all of Mom and Daddy's friends, and we told them when we were having the party and when to show up. And then we told Daddy, we throwing a surprise party for Mama. Oh, okay, if I get it wrong, so I was like, we told him we were having a party. Daddy had to take off work and get all the food and everything together. We were sneaking folks in through the side door down into the basement so Mama couldn't hear the people coming. But I tell you what, that was a good party. We sure know how to throw them parties, but we would be surprising them every time. It'd be the
Right,
day of.
right. Daddy was on his way to work. And we said, Daddy, you can't go to work. And he said, well, why can't I go to work? We said, because it's y'all's surprise party. What surprise party? Well, we told everybody. And Daddy said, now, doggone it. He had to call off work. And he had Mama in there cooking. And Mama said, why are we cooking all this food? And Daddy was like, don't worry about it. Just cook. We just cook. And I can remember Auntie Ann crawling from the front door to our bedroom. Boy, we had a good old time. We were so excited. Every time somebody would come in, we'd get more excited. Like, ooh, this is going to be a good party. And I remember Granddaddy being down in that basement and we were taking pictures of Granddaddy. And Junior wanted something and Mama told Junior no. Granddaddy said, what's wrong, boy? Because Junior was so upset. What's wrong, boy? He said, neither one of them deserve no party. And Granddaddy said, well, kids, you know they'll tell the truth now, won't they? And we all hollered. That was so funny.
And my grandmother was there. Ma'am was there.
Ma'am,
Yep.
yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I know we
remember
did a
sitting in
couple
that
parties.
chair with
One of
that
them was
crocheted
somebody's
blanket.
birthday.
People from my job.
Uh-huh. Yep. That
Do
was
you
some
remember
good-
the time we ordered you
things.
all some appliances?
I remember you all ordered me a stove.
We wanted you to have the best stove.
And the people, they waited and they called me. And I told them I didn't order a stove. And they said, well, it sounds like children calling to order a stove. So we figured we better call you to find out. They ordered me a stove. I guess they saw it on TV or whatever.
Probably did some good deal, some good sale.
Probably
Mm-mm-mm.
won't even sell.
It probably wasn't. It probably was the most expensive one. And we said, oh, that must be good.
Right. I forgot to put the butter in our sauce, y'all, but everything is done.
Go
While
ahead,
you all
put the
were
butter in
talking, I grilled up our pineapple. I'm just gonna turn the stove back on just for a second to heat our butter in our coconut sauce.
Well, while you're doing that, I know one precious memory. And I don't know if Yvette told it while I was outside. I didn't hear some of
there.
the
We
story.
weren't telling any stories while you were
What's,
outside.
huh?
We didn't tell any stories while you were outside.
Oh, okay. Was was it November? No, it might not have even been November, September, October ish of 2017 when you said I'm coming in to surprise Daddy,
Yeah, that was,
and
yeah.
we didn't tell Daddy that Yvette was
yeah.
coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so Jello and I got there early. Mom was going to pick Yvette up, and Daddy was doing laundry, so he was up and down the stairs. So I said, y'all, I'm gonna wait till Daddy goes downstairs, and then y'all come in the house, and you can surprise him when he comes through the door. So Daddy had gone downstairs to get his clothes out the dryer. Yvette and Mama were standing there at the door. Mama was in front of Yvette. Yvette was behind Mom, and Dad comes in. He opened the door, and Mama said, "Well, I'm here to see Mr. Lonely." And Daddy kind of chuckled. He kind of saw Mom, but he was still not paying attention. And he kind of chuckled. And Yvette said something, and he spotted Yvette. He said, "Oh, shucks." And he was just so excited, tears were in his eyes. That was just so special.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
said, "Oh shucks, you got me." Oh, and he just went on. Oh, Daddy was so happy. He said, "I got what I wanted. I got my family,
Mm-hmm.
my family, my family." Daddy loved his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was looking at that. I think it was either Thursday or Friday, and I was looking because I was looking through some pictures, like looking for specific pictures of him and I together, just to kind of, give a tribute to him. And I happened to really pay attention to this post that I put July 17th, I want to say, of 2017. And I said, now wait a minute, when did he pass? And I just thought, oh my goodness. He passed 7 months and some days after I put that post up in June, and how the Holy Spirit had told me, go spend time with your father. And I called Mom and I told her, I said, I want to come in and surprise Daddy for Thanksgiving. Because I've always surprised Mama. I'm always surprising Mama. And we could not find any tickets that were not expensive. Those tickets, some of them were $600 and $700, $800. And so I said, well, maybe we'll just make it an early Thanksgiving. And I found some tickets that were like $385, something like that. So that's I was able to come in early. Those were some of the best days. We had so much fun.
Yeah,
We laughed. We played cards. I tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it's just interesting how our parents have sown so much into us, and then how the Lord will turn things around as we mature and become adults, how he'll have us to sow into them. And I remember telling Mom, I said, I keep getting these impressions of me laying hands on Daddy in prayer. I said, I'm here on a mission. Then all of a sudden I knew that the Holy Spirit was up to something. Like he didn't speak that just for a reason, but it's like he was preparing me to spend time with him, because after I said goodbye, that would be my final goodbye in the physical, in the flesh. And it was like the Holy Spirit was setting us up to have these precious moments that we would even be talking about today. Like nobody could do it like the Holy Spirit. I'm just so grateful. Yep. But that was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Cookie and Lucius beating us at Tonk. Yes, something else. Yep.
Yes, indeed. Those were some great times.
Yeah. All that junk food we ate, them burgers and fries and milkshake, the strawberry shake. Oh.
And I was thinking back, like for you to say that, about how the Lord like prepped us pretty much for his passing. Just being able to have him see me in my own suite, and for him to eat my food, eat Thanksgiving dinner at my place, and to see me kind of doing good, and being able to give something a little bit back to him for all the things that he had done for me in my life. I am forever grateful to God for preparing us, during the midst of it, even afterwards, like immediately afterwards. It didn't seem like that. It was just kind of like, wait a minute, this is just, it all just happened. Like this just, it was too fast. But in retrospect, just looking back, and even just going back to even get comfort for the loss of a loved one, you can see how God was trying to guard our hearts, trying to just prepare us, and letting us see the beauty, honestly, of his transition. Because some people don't transition in that manner, where they're able to be with their family, that they're able to have laughter at the end of their life, where they're able to, you know, kind of reap in so many words what they have sown in their family and in their children. Some people don't experience that. And
Right.
for my grandfather, your father, your husband, your daddy, your
Right. Our baby daddy.
But you know what was so precious was the day I told Daddy, I said, I'm coming to pick you up, and I don't know when I'm taking you back. And I called Jello. I said, I got your granddaddy. I'm going to bring him by your salon. And we got there to Jello's salon. And Jello said, Granddaddy, you want me to do your hair? He said, No, I don't want you to do my. I said, Sit down in that chair. You're going to get your hair done. He sat there in that chair, and Jello started shampooing Daddy's hair. He drifted off to sleep. He was
He
enjoying
felt
that
it, didn't he?
shampoo so until when Jello got done, my Uncle Columbus had called my daddy. And he said, Man, let me tell you, my grandbaby, she treated me like a king. She done shampooed my head. She gave me manicure. She treated me like a king. Man, I feel like a king. Can't nobody tell me nothing. He just, oh, that just did him so good. And then when we left the salon, I took him and we went and had lunch. And oh, we had such a good lunch. We just sat and laughed and talked. And I said, Well, Dad, so I'm getting ready to take you home. You think Uncle Rufus might want something? Listen, listen here. This is my day. Ain't nobody thinking about Rufus. And I said, Well, Daddy, he said, No, I'm just kidding. Call him and see what he wants. But it was just such a precious day. Oh my. That did him some good. And, as Angelica was saying, to look back over kind of the occurrences leading up to that, I remember us going to visit Dad at the hospital. And as we were leaving, Mom told me, don't turn around abruptly, but just look back at your dad. And when I looked back, Dad was just staring at us. He was just watching us as we were leaving. And the way that he was looking was like, I want to remember this moment. Like he was capturing that moment. It was like taking a photo and holding on to that moment. And even, I think it might have been a couple of days before Daddy's passing, I had gone by, sorry, y'all, that's Gotti and his allergies. But I had gone by to see Dad to make sure, he had all of his medicine in the right days and all of that. And I walked in, I said, Dad, you cut your hair off. You've never had your hair cut this short. No, yeah, I had somebody come and do my hair. And something else he had done, I said, Daddy has never done like that. And it was like the Lord had him preparing himself, even his natural body, for his, departure. So, I mean, yeah, God was really doing a work and allowed Daddy to have the happiest days of his life. I mean, it had been so long since we had seen Daddy that happy. It was just a blessing.
Yeah.
It was. And, just, I know we've been talking a lot about my granddaddy, you guys' father, your husband, your baby daddy. But, it's almost like, you have to talk about, well, for me, I have to talk about my grandfather because he definitely stepped in my life as my father. And some people were like, "Oh, you called him dad because he was like your father." I'm like, no, I called him dad because I think I really couldn't say granddaddy or granddad or something. Like it just came out as dad, and so
it's your term of endearment.
Yes, right. And it was just the way that he treated me, the way that he nurtured me. We when we talk as a family and you guys tell your stories and then I have my experiences and I'm like, granddaddy, he really loved me. I was his favorite. But But really he kind of like granddaddy really helped me during growing up.
Mhm.
Um
That's all right. Have your moment. Have your
mhm.
moment. Yep.
I can remember we my granddad and I we spent a lot of time together, whether it was like in the backyard where he will when he was working on his cars or cutting the grass or whatever. I was like his little shadow wherever he went. When he was at the house, I was with him. And we would talk about my dad. We would talk about things like that. As I got older, I was able to like call him with different things, and he would really. It was weird. It was kind of weird talking to my granddaddy as I got older. I don't know if weird is the word, but it was like he was no longer like my granddaddy. He was like my dad. Like the way that he talked to me, because there were ways, where you have a conversation with somebody like, okay, I'm talking to my mom,
Mhm.
and then you have a conversation with your mom, like, okay, I'm talking to my confidant. They have different
Yep.
roles in that conversation, and there were a lot of times where we would talk, and it would be like I'm talking to my dad, and he would just listen. He
Mhm.
would just listen. He would never, yeah, he would never like interject when I would say something. He never judged. He never like projected his own opinion or his feelings about whatever. He really like talked to me and gave me like godly advice about a lot of things growing up. And I would tell people like my granddaddy, and there would be times I would call him when I felt overwhelmed, and he would just tell me it'll be okay, baby. Like, don't let these things overwhelm you, and that really helped me.
Yeah.
It really helped me. And even now, when I have moments of feeling overwhelmed, I can always think back, and it's like I hear his voice during those conversations where he would tell me it's gonna be okay. Don't let that overwhelm you. God won't put more on you than you can bear. And it's been what, 3 years?
Yep. 3 years.
Yeah. So this year or going,
3 years.
this year made 3 years
Mhm.
of his passing, and you always feel like, okay, well, maybe next year, it'll be easier. Yeah, but um, coming up to Father's Day was kind of rough for me, y'all. And this, I guess, is a transparent moment.
Well, that's the beauty of the Cooking Jello show. Is healing.
True.
Mm-hmm.
It was very. I was having moments leading up to Father's Day, and this morning before church service, I went to his gravesite and just cleaned it off, and just thanking God really for the time that I had with him, and
Mhm.
thank the Lord for all of the talks that we had that nobody knew about. All the times where my granddaddy, he would teach me how to give without
Mm-hmm.
without looking for something in return. And it wasn't that lesson that he taught me wasn't always about monetary things. It wasn't always about the tangible things. It really taught me how to give from my heart.
Yeah.
And not look for anything in return from somebody.
Yeah.
I can remember I would have like $10, and $10 as a kid back then, you'd be like, I'm rich.
Mhm.
I got $10. I can do what I want to do. And he would say, "You got $10?" You'd be like, "Yeah, I got $10." He'd be like, "Well, let me have it." And I'd be like, "Okay." And I would give it to him. No questions asked. No no, this is my $10. Get your own $10. It was nothing like that. I would give him the $10, and y'all, he would go in his pocket and give me $20.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember one of my cousins. He did that to one of my cousins, one of his other grandchildren, and they didn't want to give it up. I already knew the trick, so
Yeah.
when he asked me, I was like, yeah, take this $20, $10, whatever it was. And he turned around and gave me more. And then my cousin wanted to do it. He said, no, I don't want it now.
Mm-hmm.
I already got it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the one thing that lesson that he taught me, he taught me how to count money. He taught me how to play pity pad. I'm the coldest pity pad player. Anybody want to go? We can go. But he taught me how to play pity pad. We played games, we talked, we watched movies, we laughed. But giving was the ultimate thing that I'll never forget that my grandfather taught me, was giving. And he was a giver.
Yes,
he
was.
Gave a lot of himself. He gave a lot of his time, his money, his talent to people. And a lot of people took it for granted. A lot of people mishandled it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, just didn't see the value in it. And, that hurt. But I know that my grandfather, he would have given anything to be here today.
Yeah.
And that when I was there this morning, I was just kind of talking to him like, I know you will want to be here. I know you want to try these beef short ribs and these fried potatoes and these vegetables. Like, I know you will want this, but I know you right now are in a better place.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't even you don't even want to come back. I don't blame you either.
Right.
But so this meal today, like, I wanted it to be short, quick, simple, to the point. Just because I don't want to be doing this right now, but also I just want you all to know that when you have someone in your life who teaches you something, don't take it for granted. Value what they're trying to teach you. Because when you go through life, a lot of people tell me, like, you're so giving, like, you're so loving, you're so caring. Like, no matter what you go through, you still want to love people. You still want to give to people. And I mean, that I can say that a lot about my whole family, because that's basically like how we are. We love people. And we want to give to people, but you also don't want to be a stepping stool. And so watching my grandfather, even with his own family, sometimes you have to take that stand, but you do it in love. You do it in grace. And so I know my granddaddy would love this meal today. So I am dedicating this meal to him. I have already played it, guys, while we were talking. So I didn't get to show you all what it looked like in the pans and all that stuff. My lash is coming off. But
It's still on me. So.
Okay, I ain't gonna get close to the camera because I felt the lifting. One second, I'm gonna put the camera on so you all can see. I think
It looks good, y'all.
So I gotta wait for it to turn back on. But just remember to give love, sow love, you'll reap love. Remember to cherish those who you have here in this life. We know that we'll see our loved ones in eternity, but just cherish them and love them while you have them here. And just hold on to those memories, those things, how we're sharing with you all today about my grandfather. Keep those memories, keep talking about them. I know some people, when they lose a loved one, they don't even talk about that loved one. It's like the loved one never even existed. And I mean, by all means, if that's how you go through life, that's fine. But for me, talking about him bringing up those stories, bringing up those memories, it keeps him alive. It keeps me knowing that I'm gonna see him again. Like he is a person, he's still alive. He's just because his body is in the ground, his spirit, his soul is still alive. And so, if it helps you, because it kind of helps me get through grief, because grief is not like you get over it in a year.
Right.
Grief is a process. So for those of you who have lost your loved one, your father or whoever, the male figure in your life, bring up those memories, talk about those things, relive those moments, and know that you'll see that loved one again, and know that um, I'm sure that they will want to be here with you too. But paradise, of course, is just
Way better.
way much better than it is down here. So, but with that, so now that I've cried my lashes off,
They still look like they're on to me.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, 1 second, y'all. Okay. Um. Oh, hold on, y'all. I don't want y'all to see me twice on here. 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to fix the camera so you guys can see.
Ooh, wow. That looks good. Mm.
And y'all see y'all Neff dog in the corner.
Oh yeah, sitting there hoping for crumbs.
Okay, so we have our. Hold on, I want to show you all this too. So here are grilled pineapples.
Yum.
Wait, hold on, let me move this out the way.
Oh, that looks delicious. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we have our vegetable kebabs, our au gratin potatoes. I put the cheese on top, and that's our flanking beef short ribs, our grilled
Mm-hmm.
beef short ribs. So that is our Father's Day meal, y'all.
Great job.
Granny, do you want to bless our food so we can taste it?
Sure. Well, Heavenly Father, we thank you right now for this day, this Father's Day, and for this time of fellowship. We thank you for the Jello cooking show. We thank you, Lord, for Jello, for giving her the mind to do such a great cooking show. Father, we thank you right now for her household, her mom, for even Ziggy and Gotti. Lord, thank you for blessing them and keeping them safe and sound. Thank you for every person who's watching the cooking show. We even pray special blessings over them, over their household. Father, we ask you to bless, purify the food, and let the food be nourishing to our bodies for Christ's sake. We bless our bread. We bless our water. We bless the meat. We bless the vegetable. Father, take out all impurities. Take out any deadly thing, anything that will make people sick. Take it out, Lord, in the name of Jesus. And we'll give your name the praise, the honor, and the glory. And the people of God come into agreement with this prayer. and with this blessing by saying amen, and it
Amen.
is so
It
in
is so.
Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank
Amen.
you.
It was like God knew you were coming to the end of the prayer because he came running in right before you said, and be coming to agreement with this. He came running in like, yep, I agree too. Time to eat. That tail just going.
Looking for a folder. Okay, y'all, 1 second. Just grabbing a fork. Okay. So we could take this one off. I'm just gonna take this camera off, y'all, so you can just see
Okay.
us. Okay. So I think I'm gonna try to. Okay. I was gonna put this. You know what I bought? I found some Parmesan Ranch seasoning
Mm-hmm.
by Blackstone. I thought that would be good on potatoes, but
Let's try it without
I'm gonna try it without it. Oh,
Good.
it's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Good old bacon grease.
Mm-hmm.
That rosemary is really good in it.
I know it is. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Granny's sitting there salivating. I'm sitting over here. Well, I won't be tasting it anytime soon.
I'm gonna take a mushroom. Oh, one second.
I want a piece of zucchini.
Mm. That hickory.
Uh-huh.
That hickory. I put some hickory chips
Mm-hmm.
with the
Mm.
Charcoal.
charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
Got a nice flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Mm.
What's up?
Mm.
So I just grabbed the
Yeah, that's what I've been wanting to know how that tastes.
look at that. It just ripped right apart. My mom's cutting hers. I'm being a little.
Mm-hmm.
I should cut.
Oh. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh my. Mom, I can't wait to bring you a plate. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh my.
Nice
Yes,
and
indeed.
seasoned.
Mm-hmm. All the way through.
Mm,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
Excuse me.
So.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
Good.
I have been wanting some beef short ribs.
Yeah, now I think nope, I'm not gonna do it yet.
You're not gonna make it now.
Nah, not yet. But I'm gonna get off here. You had a great show. I gotta wash this dirty head. Hair now. That's why I have a hat on. So, a great show. I enjoyed it. I love you all. Safe.
Well, we gotta try the pineapple.
Oh yeah, that's right. Try the pineapple, then I'll jump off
What a nice one.
with the cream sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a small piece.
Here's our grilled pineapple with the grill mark.
That looks good.
Mm.
No double dipping. Right.
Right.
Mmm. 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 Really? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the cream sauce is good. I'm not gonna double dip, but I'm gonna
Right.
try.
I'm doing this.
There was a spoon over here. This is a spoon for the sauce.
Yeah,
You might
that's
need to get
good.
some more of this sauce.
Oh, good.
And the pineapple has a good, almost like a char taste. Not a char taste, but
Yeah.
been on the grill. It brought like a different flavor out of the pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to me.
That's good.
Wonderful. All right. Well, good.
We had us another successful show.
Yes.
I want to thank all of you for joining the show on this Father's Day. I know many of you are with your loved ones or out, but we wanted to share this Father's Day with you and make a meal that's fit for the kings. So I want to also remind you guys again to give love, sow love, and you will reap love, because that's what this world needs, a lot more love. Be safe, guys. Stay vigilant. Remember to love your loved ones and to hold on and remember those memories. I think that's pretty much it.
Wonderful.
Thanks
When's
for
the
joining.
next show?
Also, the next
Is it 30?
the next Instant Jello show is on June 30th. We're gonna make one thing. We're making something very simple, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. We are making a chicken crust Alfredo pizza.
Wow.
So make sure you guys do grab your ingredients. I'll be posting them this week because the next show will be the following week. So I'm gonna give you guys some time to grab those ingredients so we can make that chicken crust Alfredo pizza. It's keto friendly, and so I know we're gonna like it. So that's the next show, the Instant Jello show, June 30th, and that's gonna be at 6:30 p.m. I think that was it.
Wonderful. Well, I love you all.
Thank you guys again for joining the show. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love you guys. Thanks again for your support and for your love. And we will see you guys on June 30th. Bye.
Love
Bye.
you too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is good.